Hi, it's Elizabeth and welcome to a video that I'm making in my treatment room, and that's not a slow cooker, it's a hot stones machine for heating up the stones. Anyway, I haven't made a video for ages because I've been distracted. I've had a couple of stressful things happen and that's what I want to talk about, but also the consequence of that stress. So basically, as a woman in menopause, post-menopause rather, I still find myself getting targeted by adverts for supplements and vitamin pills, and there's one company in particular that I just keep seeing on my Instagram feed quite regularly. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's backtrack about what caused the stress. Um, my house flooded with sewage. Yes, you heard that right. In Glasgow, there was really heavy rain in June, and my toilet decided to flood my flat. Well, it didn't decide. There was a blockage under the pavement outside my house. So that's all being dealt with. We're moving on from that. But during that time, what happened to me was I just felt myself going on a downward spiral. And when I go on that downward spiral, unfortunately for me, binge eating is a thing and has been. And then you start latching on to going, I need to stop binge eating, but I'm really stressed and I can't stop binge eating, but I know I need to stop binge eating. And you can get all up in your head. Thankfully, during that time, I had forgotten completely about signing up for a gut health reset. So the flood happened on a Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, I basically ate until I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I had food up to here. I was wolfing it down. I wasn't taking my time or enjoying it. I wasn't chewing it properly. And I was definitely eating more than my body could handle because of the stress. And it was just like I had mouth hunger. It wasn't stomach hunger, it was mouth hunger. And I really do think that binge eating should be a symptom that is recognized psychologically and dealt with for women a lot sooner than women realize that this is happening to them. So for me, I know I started binge eating when I was like 42, 43. Because that's when the psychological impact of menopause, perimenopause started hitting me back then, but I didn't know that. So thankfully, this gut health reset, I live in Glasgow. This herbalist is a lady called Lucy Bradley, Lucie. Thankfully, I had her kit arrived on the Monday. Now, what happened was that during that week, it was like an online Facebook thing, community, where we were checking in with each other and progress, etc. And you gave your feedback. And that's when I really noticed that with the amount of stress that I was under, that it was keeping my energy low, and I wasn't all up in my head, and my voice wasn't raised like this, which can happen if you're suffering from mental anxiety at all, that your voice can get really, really high when you're explaining things to people, instead of keeping, your breath steady and keeping your energy low down into your stomach. So I'm very, very grateful that that happened. But the point that I'm wanting to make is, if you are in a situation like that, try and step back from it and realize what is happening, and realize that it's not your fault. It's because your hormones are having a complete square dance. But also think about how you handle conflict and how you handle anxiety and upset in your life. And for some people, it's reaching for substances like alcohol. And for others, it's Belgian buns from Greggs. That's me. I've got a sweet tooth, and that's what happens. The late night Scooby snacking, the overeating, the wifing down my food, which I think is probably also the aftermath of having worked in hospitality before I became a professional massage therapist. I worked in hospitality for the best part of 25 years or so. And when you work in hospitality, you don't get proper break times. So what do? You wife down your food. So I'm not sure if that's when the problem started. Plus, I used to be a manager for Pizza Hut. Yeah, stuffed crust pizzas, things like that. Anyway, I digress. So realize what's happening to you, how you handle stress, and journal about it. And just, really take stock on how you're speaking to yourself and what your self-talk is round about that. I'm reading a book. I did a video on TikTok about it. This one here, sorry it's in reverse, but obviously with the camera. It's called The Last Diet, and it's by a woman called Sharu Izadi, and she tackles binge eating and how she dealt with it, and how she, in her own words, lost 20 kilos with kindness, just by being kind to herself, and realizing that she had all the power in her own hands to make the difference. So this morning's exercise that I did on the train, because it's not just a case of reading the book and you don't like flick through it and go, oh my God, where's the answer? Where's the answer? Which in menopause you can do. You start leapfrogging and looking for things that can help you immediately, instead of realizing that it's a journey and you need to take your time. And it's taken me several years to get this happy at the age of 54. But if I can help women get there possibly a few years sooner by making videos like this, then that's a good thing. So anyway, this morning's exercise, get a notebook, 2 bits of paper, write on 1 bit of paper what my body is capable of, what my body's good at. Yeah, instead of slagging yourself off all the time, write down everything that you're good at. So for me, I'm a sports massage therapist, so my hands and arms and fists and elbows make people feel better because I know how to use them. These are the tools of my trade. So why should I be speaking down to myself and slagging my body off when it's how I earn my money, by using these guys? Yeah. And if I wasn't good or I didn't enjoy my work, then people wouldn't come back to see me. So there's that. I'm walking without back pain. I can walk upstairs without knee pain. I'm walking to and from the railway station. And yeah, so I'm that's what I'm grateful for. And then on the other bit of paper, make the heading, what my body deserves. And what my body deserves is not to put loads of vitamins in it that it doesn't need. It certainly doesn't deserve me slagging it off. It definitely deserves good hydration, and it definitely deserves a lot more sleep, and possibly not binge watching Sex and the City from series 1, which I've started doing. I should maybe knock that on the head at about 10:30 and 11:30. The challenge that I've got is that I don't get home from work until about 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night sometimes. So I come home, I get the laundry on, and then I'm thinking about what to eat. Now, I should be eating lighter in the evenings. Sometimes I don't. And I'm trying to stretch my evening out because most of it's already gone by the time I get home. So that's where I'm literally having to have a word with myself and really rein it in and think about, am I really hungry, or is this mouth hunger? So mouth hunger is when you go, oh, I really fancy a taste of something, and your stomach's going, forget it, we're full. But what happens in menopause is that this hormone called leptin that tells you that you're full goes on holiday and leaves ghrelin, the one that makes me reach for the Belgian buns, it's left in charge. So that's the backstory to it. What am I trying to say here? Being hit with all these adverts constantly, it's unbelievable. And there's one brand in particular, I better not name them because, I could get done for it. But it really made me go WTAF when I saw one of their blurby things that they put out going, I lost 20 pounds, blah, 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 which of course, when you're on a weight loss journey because you've been in binge eating due to menopause, you're going to latch onto that and go, oh, that's the magic answer. And it's not. I promise you it's not. And sometimes these supplements, you can't take them if you're on any other medication, and you can't take them if you're on HRT. Okay? So there's that. But this was the whopper that just made me go, are you actually kidding me? My husband thinks I look fabulous now. Why didn't you think you looked fabulous before? That was their tagline. My husband thinks I look absolutely fabulous now. And I was like, oh my God. For a start, I don't have a husband yet. But what? Was that it? That's the measure of how good women feel about themselves? By what a man thinks about them? I was just like rolling my eyes out loud. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I can't actually put into a coercive sentence how that made me feel. Taking a tablet to lose weight so that your husband likes the look of you now? What? So, see, this is what we're up against. This is what women in menopause are up against. Crap like that. Please, please, please don't fall down the rabbit hole of thinking that you need to buy all these supplements, because I've done that. I'm talking from experience. I think I possibly in the last 10 years, I could quite safely say I've wasted about £2,500, I'm guessing, on crap that didn't work. I've tried MCT oil. It made me feel sick as a dog. I started skipping breakfast by making coffee with MCT oil, thinking this is going to help me lose weight. This is going to do all this medium chain triglycerides stuff, etc., etc. It doesn't work for everybody. If it works for one person, fantastic. Find out what works for you. What works for me is eggs for breakfast every day, loads of salad, and really having a think about whether I need that cake or not. I'm not denying myself the cake, and I'm not denying myself the bacon rolls either. But when I do, I make sure they're really top quality. But yeah, it's that's what we're up against. Taking tablets to look good, lose weight. And here's the thing as well, right? I say this with love. If you are binge eating, taking those tablets is not going to do you any good, because you're still the back end of everything. Everything's that's behind taking this supplement is not working. So what you've got to tackle is all the stuff back here so that would possibly work. But everybody's different. I'll tell you what I take. I take vitamin B12 in the morning. Thank you, Kirsty, for suggesting that. I've got a company called Nutri, who are based in the UK, Nutri, and I take their vitamin D with K2 drops in the morning. I also take a spoonful of collagen. I'll put a link to the brand that I love below in the comments section. Anything else? No, that's it. And then to look after myself, I love doing a double cleanse and taking it off with a hot face cloth. I use a facial oil. The brand I love is Hermana. Hang on, let me just show you it. Ta-da! Oh, wrong way around. That way. Hermana. Claire Gray owns this and makes this lovingly in Glasgow. It's the best facial oil in the whole wide world, and I've been using it for the best part of about 15 years now, something like that. It's fabulous. Anyway, so that's there's none of this is affiliate, by the way. It's just I'm just recommending products that look really good. Apart from the collagen brand, I will give you a link to my Amazon affiliate thingy. I hope that's okay. Anyway, so it's all about thinking about why you need that supplement and what's behind needing that supplement, because if you're not tackling what's back here, up here is not going to work. So I hope this makes sense. I never rehearse these videos, I just press play and see what happens. And if there's any questions that you need to ask, then please drop them in the comments below. I hope this makes sense for you though. Just don't waste your money on advertising taglines, and certainly don't waste your money on something that's going to make either a member of the opposite sex or a member of the same sex or your significant other person make you like you better. Wow. I still can't quite get my head round a company that would do that. Take this tablet so that your husband will fancy you more. Anyway, let me know what you think. Bye.